The consensus across the board is, yeah, this isn't going well. In fact, it's a failure. That's not just coming from CNN or even the Midas Mighty, but on Fox News as they welcomed former General Jack Keane to announce, well, the devastating news for Trump regarding this war that we were told would be ending very soon, but doesn't seem to be the case.
The point here is dealing with the Straits of Hormuz. Certainly, this is a prize that Iran does not want to give up. And what do I mean by that? It was the vehicle they used to get a ceasefire when they took control of it. They have never, ever had control of the Straits of Hormuz before.
Now, if you were to take a glance across a variety of headlines from the Bulwark to the Wall Street Journal, not exactly the bastions of liberal thought, right? You'll see things like this. This was a complete failure, and Iran pursues deal that brings economic relief without handing Trump victory. Yeah, the Wall Street Journal reports that Iranian officials and Arab mediators described Tehran's strategy as securing financial relief while denying Trump the kind of concession package that he can sell as a victory. So basically, to put into context, one of the world's leading state sponsors of terror are negotiating in a way designed to solve its immediate economic crisis without giving Trump what he needs politically. For a president absolutely obsessed with winning the optics, this is a serious problem, right? The Journal has reported that Tehran is seeking access to some of roughly $100 billion in frozen assets and wants to regain access to global oil markets.
I just have to say, for the record, my view is that President Obama didn't give money to Iran. He unfroze Iranian assets, but we can have that conversation some other time. Let me say on Boeing, I'm glad that China is buying their Boeing planes, but they're only buying...
But Congressman, wait, why unfreeze assets? Why give Iran, the leading state sponsor of terrorists, $2 billion so that they could go give that money to the proxies that they support, like Hezbollah and Hamas? Why unfreeze money?
It was Iranian money that was unfrozen for 97% of enriched uranium to get out of the country.
Right.
President Trump tore that deal up. Now there's tons of enriched uranium.
They never made a commitment
to
stop building a weapon. So why send them $1.7 billion when you didn't even have a commitment to stop building a weapon? You yourself said you don't want Iran to have a nuclear weapon.
Well, just so we're factual, he didn't send them money. It was their money that was unfrozen. I acknowledge it was unfrozen.
Matter. Why unfreeze
what we got out of it is...
You say it was their money. Other people say it wasn't their money. It was stolen money. But that's fine. Let's say it is their money. Why unfreeze the money? That you never got a commitment that they would stop building a nuclear weapon. Why are you sending them $1.7 billion so that they could go give it to Hamas?
He got
so
a
Hamas could attack Israel.
For 15 years, 97% enriched uranium out. Instead, what did we get? We had them having 60% enriched uranium when Trump tore up the deal. We had 13 American service members dead. We have Americans paying $4 at gas. We have food prices. Let me just finish, Maria. Let me finish.
And it's not like all this is going on while a ceasefire remains. The war is clearly not over. It's ongoing. The Journal reported that U.S. Central Command struck Iranian speedboats it said were laying mines in the Strait of Hormuz. Iran then retaliated by firing on U.S. planes, and the U.S. hit back at a missile launch site in Iran. And while the president is out here projecting victory and strength, if you flicked over to Fox, which I'm sure he did, his allies are saying the exact opposite. General Jack Keane reminded Fox viewers that the Strait of Hormuz, this main point of conflict here, has only become a bargaining tool for Iran as a result of this war. They never had control before it. And if anything, he's making the claim that Trump's escalation in this conflict has only given them more chips to bargain with.
The point here is dealing with the Straits of Hormuz. Certainly, this is a prize that Iran does not want to give up. And what do I mean by that? It was the vehicle they used to get a ceasefire when they took control of it. They have never, ever had control of the Straits of Hormuz before. They will likely open it, but what they want to do is maintain authority over it. And they are claiming right now that this is their water and Oman's waterway, and therefore they have territorial control over it.
According to the U.S. Energy Information Administration, they say that oil flows through the strait averaged around 20.9 million barrels per day in the first half of 2025, equal to about 20% of the global petroleum liquids consumption. So when that strait was disrupted, then of course Americans felt it, the oil markets felt it, inflation as a result went up. And this is one of the main reasons why this war has become politically poisonous for the president who claimed he would never wage a new war and used to reprimand Obama, claiming he did this to try to boost his poll numbers.
Our president will start a war with Iran because he has absolutely no ability to negotiate. He's weak and he's ineffective. So the only way he figures that he's going to get reelected, and as sure as you're sitting there, is to start a war with Iran. Now, I'm more militant and more militaristic than the president. I believe in strength. But to start a war in order to get elected, and I believe that's going to happen, would be an outrage.
Every day the conflict drags on, it risks higher energy prices. Every spike at the pump reminds voters that foreign policy is basically domestic policy, despite the president claiming he doesn't consider their financial situation.
When you're negotiating with Iran, Mr. President, to what extent are Americans' financial situations motivating you to make a deal?
Not even a little bit. The only thing that matters when I'm talking about Iran, they can't have a nuclear weapon. I don't think about Americans' financial situation. I don't think about anybody. I think about one thing. We cannot let Iran have a nuclear weapon. That's all. That's the only thing that motivates.
And the reality is, Trump can't handle any more negative press surrounding this conflict, right?
Changes in Iran. Oh, I had a total military victory. But the fake news, guys like you write incorrectly. You're a fake guy, and guys like you write about it incorrectly. We had a total military victory. We knocked out their entire Navy. We knocked out their entire Air Force. We knocked out all of their anti-aircraft weaponry. We knocked out all of their radar. We knocked out all of their leaders, number one, and then we knocked out all of their leaders in the 2nd Division, and we knocked out numerous of their leaders in the 3rd Division. And they're very confused. We've had a total victory, except by people like you that don't write the truth. You know, you should write. I actually think it's sort of some treasonous what you write, but
Americans are desperately feeling the ramifications at home, and even his most willfully ignorant supporters are having quite a hard time trying to spin the ever-evolving rhetoric in Trump's favor. I mean, just watch this, right? How much more can one humiliate themselves? Honestly.
So allow me to make a prediction here in my prediction stuff. I'm not Polly Market. I'm not Kalshi, but I'm pretty good at predictions. And my prediction here is that everything that the media is now going to say about Iran's going to close the Strait of Hormuz and energy prices are going to go crazy and all these, none of this is going to come to pass. Gas prices are coming down and will continue to come down. If the United States wants to keep the Strait of Hormuz open, which it does, and Donald Trump said we'll escort ships through if we have to, it's going to stay open. This is the leader of the Iranian opposition. He has been in exile. His name is Reza Pahlavi. We have shown you videos of him before. He's the eldest son of the former Shah of Iran, and he likely is the next leader of Iran. This is the guy that, by all accounts, when this war ends, will go in and he will be the leader. And again, it will be different. Just remember, it sounds like the Kurds are starting to enter the country with arms to help the people take out the last vestiges of the IRGC. There's a lot of good things happening.
A few moments later.
This is Iranians, and you can hear they are chanting Bibi June, Bibi Netanyahu. In Iran, they are chanting praise for Benjamin Netanyahu. And when you take out Khomeini and you take out his number 2 and his number 3 and his number 4 and his number 37 and his number 42, then suddenly the next guy's going, it's a little hot in here. Ha, ha, ha. And then people start behaving a little bit differently.
They've plotted this war, this extraordinary war that will be studied for decades, right? For decades, they will study how this incredible war took place. That we are hitting critical infrastructure. We are damaging the regime. So hopefully the people will be able to take over their countries. Now, the question is, if you're going to hit power plants and you're going to hit civilian infrastructure and things of that nature, how do you make sure it's not going to harm the people, but just the regime?
And when we have a Department of War that is not looking for war, but will perform war, And we are going to do it at the maximum level of competency. I think the way you can look at this, I haven't heard anyone else say this, but this seems to me to be the war to end all wars.
If you look at the polling, Reuters Ipsos found that 66% of Americans want the US to quickly end involvement in the Iran war, even if Trump's stated goals are not achieved. Only 27% support prolonging the conflict to meet those ever-changing goals. Basically, Trump's trapped here, right? The public wants him to end the war, and his own war hawks want him to achieve total victory.
Several Republicans took to social media over the weekend to speak out against the framework agreement.
We were told about 11 weeks ago by Hegseth and the Department of Defense that they had obliterated Iran's defenses, and it was just a matter of time before we had the nuclear material. Now we're talking about a posture where we may accept the nuclear material remaining in Iran. How does that make sense at all? Also, a 60-day ceasefire and expecting that they're going to clear the Strait of Hormuz before the terms of the deal are established also seems questionable to me.
Senator Ted Cruz of Texas said that if the proposal allows Iran to continue to enrich uranium and to potentially build a nuclear weapon and effectively retain control over the Strait of Hormuz, then in his words, that outcome would be a disastrous mistake. Senator Roger Wicker of Mississippi echoed that sentiment, writing that the rumored 60-day ceasefire would be a disaster. Former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo denounced the proposal as not remotely America first. Now, President Trump is working to fight off that skepticism, saying on social media that he instructed his negotiators to not rush into a deal and insisting that what is being worked on is the, quote, exact opposite of a nuclear pact that was agreed to under the Obama administration. The president added the deal isn't even fully negotiated yet, so don't listen to those losers who are critical about something they know nothing about.
That's exactly what Fox News and even the Wall Street Journal are reporting, which doesn't bode well for the president.
In order to get that strait open, to get the insurance companies confident to, work with these ships, to calm the nerves and get oil prices down, you need the deal. So that's what we were looking for, and hopefully that's what we got.
But to that point, if that's all we get is the strait open, then we'd be back to where we started before we started the conflict. So exactly. You have to get the enriched uranium. You have to get a deal that includes removing that aspect of the nuclear ambitions. Otherwise, I don't know if you can walk away and say we have a win. It feels like we're back to square one.
Oh, that's gonna hurt! Want to stay plugged in? Become a subscriber to our Substack at MeidasPlus.com. You'll get daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, ad-free episodes of our podcast, and more exclusive content only available at MeidasPlus.com.